got lots of folks still in the waiting room. All right, I'll just bring everybody in, and then if somebody's going to be under the rule, then we'll just move them back.
And Your Honor, I do need a breakout room with the attorneys before we get started.
Okay.
I was just about to ask for one, Your Honor.
Judge, I'll need a breakout room with Mr. Hicks.
Okay, you good with talking with all the attorneys first, Mr. Shaw?
Yes, Your
Then
Honor.
okay. Ms. Kincaid, are you good? You need to speak with your client?
Well, I was looking for her on here. I thought she was previously on the hearing, and now I don't see her.
Well, you're correct. She was. And she has fallen off, it looks like.
Okay, so maybe she'll log back in. I just need to text her a question real quick. So if she pops back on, I'll do that.
Okay.
Pamela, we do not need a hearing.
Okay, my apologies. I was on a phone call. Does anybody need further breakout rooms or?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I think we are ready to announce an agreement unless something has changed.
Okay. All right, y'all. I do not have a court reporter, so let me start the recording if we're ready to go. We're here today set for our adversary hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. And I'm recording to the Zoom cloud. We're also live streaming. Okay, we'll take everybody's announcements.
Pamela Ferguson, Regional Attorney representing the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. I am present and ready with investigator. Well, I don't see her. Oh, yeah, Investigator Lupe Perez and Supervisor Natalie Thacker from the department. I'm also present and ready with Permanency Specialist Lisa Hooper and with Dakota Miller standing in for Jasmine DeVroe, Supervisor for St. Francis Ministries.
Savannah Kincaid, I represent Miss Mata. We are both present and ready.
Tim Shaw representing the father, Mr. Hicks. We're present and ready, Your Honor.
Linda Ebeling, attorney and guardian ad litem for the children, present and ready.
Okay, thank y'all. All right, then, Ms. Ferguson, I'll let you.
Thank you, Your Honor. It is my understanding that the parties are in agreement for the department to take temporary managing to continue temporary managing conservatorship today. The parties are in agreement that the department made reasonable efforts in this removal and have also an agreement for the parents to be possessory conservators doing services and having visitation in this case. At least one parent has requested a home study with Brenda Helflin, and the department has agreed to do that if based on the preliminary check, there's nothing that would bar that home study, such as criminal or CPS history. Also, the department is not seeking at this time any child support or medical support. We would ask in lieu of that the parties be aware that they will be asked to provide their own transportation to services and to do services. So the costs associated with those services, we would ask for that in lieu of child support and medical support today.
Do they have transportation? Do we know?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Sorry, Ms. Ferguson, go ahead.
And that, I believe, is the agreement of the parties at this time. And I think I'm not sure if the ad litem has another request to make regarding the children.
Okay, first of all, let me just check. Ms. Kincaid, is that you and your client's agreement?
It is, with the exception that I may have a different name than Brenda Heflin for the department. So if that change is needed, I'll provide that to the department so that we can get the right person.
Okay.
But that is our agreement, Your Honor.
Excuse me. I spoke with Brenda Heflin last week and she was not interested in being placement unless
Yes, that's what since my conversation with my client, we've learned that we may need to find someone.
Okay.
So, Your Honor, it's the department's intention to work with the parties to find out who they want the home study and to do a home study on any family members that are appropriate.
Sure. Okay. All right, Mr. Shaw, is that your client's agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and Ms. Ebling?
I am in agreement, Your Honor. The only thing I would request is that the court order that the children be drug tested. I'm requesting hair strands. And I don't know that UAs can be done on a 2 and a 3-year-old, but I do want drug testing.
I think the answer is no, but we hair test. And it is, in fact, not only the ad litem's concern, but I had a note specifically that I would like to see that done.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, just for clarification, are you asking it to be done at our drug testing facility? I think it's, Lisa, can you tell me what it is?
I believe it's drug screen compliance in Lubbock.
Okay.
Your Honor, they have been drug tested already.
Not through the state, they have not.
Oh, okay. No, they just went to the doctor. The CPS had asked them to take them to the doctor and stuff. So.
Okay, well, we'll just run we're going to do a hair test on them.
Yes, ma'am.
It's probably a different type of test. So, I mean, there's different panels and what they test for. And so, okay. All right, then, where are the children placed right now?
Your Honor, I would ask Lisa Hooper to answer.
In a basic foster home?
No, Your Honor, they're with relatives.
They have been separated. They are both with maternal aunts. They're in Floydada. One is with 2 different aunts. There's been concern with these placements. I don't know at this point if they're going to hold. Concerns with the home study, and we have not gotten daycare approved yet. One of them is 2 years old, and we have requested a waiver for him to have daycare also to help his socialization skills. His doctor recommended that last week. The daycare in Floydada is full, and so they would have to be taken to We Care in Plainview. But we have not received those approvals back yet. So, but they are placed right now with maternal aunts in Floydada.
Okay. Well, we'll do everything we can to maintain that so that, it's easier for parents to have visitation. So we'll do what we can do.
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, if they decide to move the children, could they give us notice so that we could set a placement hearing?
Sure, I have no problem with that. If things are falling apart, let us know, and we'll schedule something and get together.
And Your Honor, we would just ask that, because I'm going to be out of the country for the next few weeks. I would just ask that, the caveat with that be if anybody is violating the safety plan at the placement, that the department have the permission to move the children at the time that the safety plan is being violated. And also I would ask that, that if the placements themselves refuse to continue on as placement, obviously the department can't provide a 10-day notice.
Right. Sure. So, if it's something we've got, we have the luxury of having time to have a placement hearing. It's not something that's either an emergency or, placement has said, I can't do this, or, something of that nature. Obviously, then if time permits, I'm happy to do a hearing. So, okay.
Thank you. But we will give all parties notice as soon as we have knowledge that there's a problem with the placement.
Okay. All right, then. Anybody have anything else they need to cover, deal with today?
Your Honor, I would just ask Ms. Hooper to just address for clarification of the parties what the visitation plan is and what restrictions on their contact with the children at this time are until services are worked.
Currently, they are having an hour per week with the boys together. This week, I haven't contacted the parents yet, but we are going to schedule one for Thursday with the boys together. The father travels out of town, I believe, every other week. So he may not make all the visits, but the mother said she will be available for weekly visits at in Floydada.
I'll be there.
And Lisa, are they allowed to have unsupervised contact or contact with the children outside of the visitation times?
No, ma'am, they are not.
Okay, I just wanted to make that clear.
Yeah, and let me just say to the parents, and I'm not singling you all out. I say this to lots and lots of parents who have children placed with family members. Do not ask them to allow you to see the children outside of that visitation order, because, you know, it puts them in a really bad spot. And ultimately we always end up finding out about it. And then we're in a position where we end up having to move the kids because people can't follow the rules. So, you know.
Yes, ma'am, we understand that. We don't want to risk anything.
Yeah, just don't ask them to bend the rules, and you know, we'll all be in a better place.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, then. I do find the evidence is sufficient to name the Department of Family and Protective Services as a temporary managing conservator of the children. I'll approve the agreement for no child support or medical support. Expect that parents will work services. I will expect the department to use reasonable efforts to reunify the family. I will order that there's no change in placement unless there's an emergency, something like a violation of the safety plans, placement backs out, something of that nature where we do not have time to have a hearing. And obviously that attorneys will be notified, you know, if there's a problem brewing with placement. Parents will have supervised visitation of the children. And our next hearing will be July 25th of 2024. That will be on a 1 p.m. docket, just like today. You'll get a new Zoom link. And you can get started on your services. You know, we'll talk more about your service plans at the next hearing, because between now and that time, the departments in St. Francis, they're going to sit down with you and develop the service plans, what all you all need to do. So the sooner you get going on those things, the better. But we will discuss those at greater length at our next hearing. So I appreciate everybody's cooperation. And yeah, part of my order is to drug test the children by doing a hair test. And hopefully we won't have any issue there. Okay, then I appreciate everybody's attendance. I appreciate your cooperation in working these things out. And parents, I wish you all the best of luck. We want to be successful. Everybody here is here to help. And I know a lot of times parents look at the department as the enemy, but they're really not. They're really here to help. We really want to make sure you don't find yourselves back in this position again. So take the assistance that's being offered to you and you know, just make some permanent changes. Okay. I appreciate everybody, and you all are free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Y'all have
you.
the rest of your afternoon. We are here today for a status hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We're live streaming. And I am recording to the Zoom cloud. So if anybody needs a copy, just let me know and we'll make it available. Okay, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Pamela Ferguson, Regional Attorney representing the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. I am present and ready with Permanency Specialist Lisa Hooper and Supervisor Jasmine Devroe, both from St. Francis Ministries.
Jim Shaw
Savannah
representing-
Kincaid. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Shaw.
Go ahead. Ladies first.
This is Savannah Kincaid. I represent Miss Motto. We're both present and ready.
Jim Shaw representing the father, present and ready, Your Honor.
Delinda Ebling, attorney and guardian ad litem for the children, present and ready.
All right, thank you. Okay. Ms. Ferguson, who's going to give the update today?
Oh, Your Honor, I would ask Lisa Hooper, the Permanency Specialist of St. Francis Ministries, to do that.
All right, Ms. Hooper.
I was able to meet with James and Maricela yesterday and went over their family plan. I did e-file a family plan that was not signed. They did sign it yesterday, and I will be e-filing that in the next 24 hours. For Mr. Hicks, we are asking him to maintain appropriate residence for a minimum of 6 months to allow the department full, complete access into the home, to refrain from all and any criminal activity, to obtain and maintain a source of legal income, to actively participate in parenting classes for a minimum of 12 hours, to schedule and maintain regular supervised visits, and to have face-to-face contact with permanency specialists for at least once a month, and to participate in a psychological evaluation, and to participate in individual counseling, and to submit to random drug screening. And if he has a positive comeback, he will be referred for a drug and alcohol screening and assessment. And that is all for him.
Okay.
For Maricela, it's basically the same. Refrain from any and all criminal activity, obtain a legal source of income, obtain an appropriate residence for a minimum of 6 months. Will allow the department complete and full access into the residence. If she tests positive for a drug test, she'll be referred to a drug and alcohol screening and assessment, to maintain a drug-free lifestyle and submit to random drug testing, participate in a psychological evaluation, to participate in individual counseling, to participate in parenting classes for a minimum of 12 hours, and to schedule and maintain regular supervised visits, family visits, and to have face-to-face contact with the permanency specialist. And that is all for Ms. Mata.
Your Honor, I wanted to ask one bit of clarification for Ms. Hooper. Also for Ms. Motto, if she returns a positive drug test, the department will be requesting that she complete a drug and alcohol assessment. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, and have we done any drug testing yet?
They did drug test in June. They are going, I believe, tomorrow to drug test for July. In June, Ms. Mata tested positive for marijuana, and Mr. Hicks tested positive for methamphetamines.
All right, have
Your
we
Honor-
had
Your Honor,
negative UAs yet?
No,
Your
ma'am.
Honor, can I add that there was a hair strand? It's my understanding that Ms. Mata on her hair strand was positive for meth in June. Is that correct, Ms. Hooper?
I believe so. I would just had the UA on my mind, so I apologize for that.
And I believe that Mr. Hicks had a negative UA in June, but a positive hair strand for meth in June.
You are correct.
And Your Honor, both of the children were drug tested pursuant to the court's order. And both of the children also returned a positive hair strand for meth.
So, here's where what I'm getting to. So are we having any in-person visits at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
1 hour weekly placement is supervising the visits, and they are together with both boys together.
okay. So, Ms. Mata and Mr. Hicks, here's my concern is if we have any further positive UAs for methamphetamine, because that's indicative of recent use. The ages of these children, it concerns me if anybody's actively using methamphetamine because it can be transferred to those children skin to skin.
Yes.
And it's just somewhat the policy of this court that if we've got ongoing positive UAs for methamphetamine and certain other drugs, that I will stop in-person visits until we have negative UAs because it's a safety, it's a health concern for the children, particularly when they're really young.
Yes.
So I'm just giving you a heads up that
Yes, we haven't had that recently.
as long as we've got negative UAs, we're good, and I'll allow the in-person visits to continue. If we get any positive UAs, then I'll stop the visits until we know that we're negative again. So,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. And it's not trying to be punitive. It's just a safety issue for the children.
Understood.
Okay. Where are we with the home? We had 2 different home studies pending, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Where are we with that?
For Estella Salinas, her home study was submitted and approved, I believe, on Monday. And the home study for Ophelia McCowan has been submitted and it is pending. And it should be have a result of that probably by the end of this week, first of next week. So we'll be getting it really soon.
So we still have 1 child in each home, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is that the plan moving forward? I mean, assuming that the other home study is approved, are we going to leave that in place?
Yes, ma'am. I've spoken with both caregivers. Initially, they were a little nervous. This is their first CPS case and it was overwhelming for them. But they have gotten better. The kids are getting settled and they have both stated that they want to remain as placement for the boys.
Okay. And so is everybody sort of in the same general area?
Yes, ma'am. They're all in Floydada.
Okay, good. Okay. So we can get the children together pretty frequently and then have the in-person visits as long as we've got clean drug tests and
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
They
Good.
have an older sister. I believe she's 7, and she also comes to the visit. So they are having a sibling visit along with their parents.
Okay, great. And let me just ask, I don't know that it'll come into play, but it certainly could. Are both those placements willing to be kind of respite care for each other if somebody needs to kind of jump in and help out?
Yes, ma'am. They have already been helping each other out. So they are sisters, and so they work well together, and they have already been kind of helping each other out.
Okay, great. Very good. Just nice to have a backup.
For sure.
Okay, all right, then before I address parents about service plans, Ms. Kincaid, anything to talk about today?
Yeah, Miss Mata wanted to bring a couple of things to your attention. I don't know if you want to swear her in or if you'd like for me to report it to you.
Yeah, you can report to me, and if something she wants to add, that'd be fun.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Miss Mata, whenever prior to the removal, she had a babysitter that she had been using for a couple of years, and she trusted to watch the kids and take care of them and protect them. And unfortunately, Miss Mata came home from work early one day and she reports that she saw this caregiver smoking meth in the home, and she fired that individual. She believes that that may explain some of the discrepancy between her levels and the children's levels. And so she wanted to bring that to your attention that that may have been a contributing factor. And I apologize. I'm under the weather, so I know I sound like a frog.
That's fine. I mean, well, it's not fine that you're not feeling well. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. Well, and that's fine. You know, we'll see how our drug screens go and, you know, what progress we make.
Yes.
And so.
Yes, Your Honor. And I've explained to her that, you know, the court is going to be concerned about a child's positive screen, whether it came from one person or another person. The concern is the positive screen for the children. So she understands that, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, then, Mr. Shaw.
Judge, my client has gone over the services that's being requested with the department and has no objection at this time.
All right, sir. Okay, Ms. Ebling.
I don't know if you want me to talk about the children. I do have one question or concern about the service plan. I don't know if the parents have already done an OSAR, given the positives that they've had already. I don't really see an emphasis on treatment, substance abuse groups or counseling, and that's really why we're here. So I think that's really important to be sure that that's getting addressed, and that whatever expectations the court has for them in regard to that are made really clear right now, so they don't lose any time working on it.
Yes, ma'am.
So-
We have not, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so
Go
sorry.
ahead, Ms. Hooper. No.
We have not got the OSAR done yet. We are working on contacting them. I've emailed and called and left a voicemail for them. And I'm waiting on a return call, but I will keep calling them back to see if I can get them so I can talk to them to get them scheduled.
I just didn't see that in the plan at all. So as far as right now, just if they tested positive in future, and did I miss that?
I think that since they have tested positive, we would ask that they do that OSAR as soon as they can, or as soon as we can get in contact with someone to get that scheduled. We would also encourage the parents to be very honest in the OSAR, since it is self-report, because that's the only way we're going to be able to address these issues. So if we could just really encourage them to be honest about drug use, because we are involved for a reason. So we want that to be addressed in order for them to get the children back.
So I guess the question Ms. Ebling has, and I have as well, is that in the service plan that they will?
Yes, ma'am.
Go for an
Yes, Your
OSAR?
Honor.
Okay, all right.
When I call it a drug and alcohol screening and assessment. So
Right.
that's what I mean by the OSAR.
Okay, so let's just take this one step further. Let's just say that they, either one or both, that OSAR makes some recommendations. Is that, you know, are those services going to be readily available, or is that something that we could address through their individual counselors?
I think it would be depending on the results from the OSAR.
Mhm.
But I would expect there to be some additional services that they recommend.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be possibly addressed in both, you know, the counseling and whatever the OSAR recommends.
Okay, well, let's take a look and see what we'll just see what the recommendations are. My concern is that I know we've had some issues before with service providers for some things in our rural counties. And, you know, the object is not to make this more onerous on the parents than it has to be as far as traveling to get to and from services. So if we have individual counselors involved, if they are, you know, licensed to do any substance abuse counseling, that sometimes is an easier and maybe better fit.
Okay.
And Your Honor, can I just say that, I mean, I will speak on behalf of the department that we have grave concerns about methamphetamines use in this case. We have 2 children who were positive. We do believe that the parents, through their services, whether it be counseling or whatever, are going to have to demonstrate that they are changing their lifestyle such that they are not going to be testing positive for drugs, and that they understand the gravity of children being exposed to drugs and drugs being in the home, because we do have the pictures from the date that they were arrested. And I would remind both parents that we have pictures of their home that we can show the court if we have a hearing, that shows an excessive amount of paraphernalia and drugs in the home. So when it comes to talking about how the children got exposed, we can have a hearing over that matter and put on some evidence. But drugs is the reason we're here, and it's the biggest concern of the department.
And I will just tell parents, and this goes in line with what I'm getting ready to tell you about service plans, but I was going to wait and get Miss Ebling's recommendation first, but no time like the present. So today I am making those service plans in order of the court. And so what that means is they are like any court order. I expect you to abide by those and to work those services. And failure to work those services could mean that the children don't come home. In worst case, it can mean termination of your parental rights. So, none of us want to go down that road. We take no joy in going down those roads. And
I want my kids back more than anything. I promise. I got this.
Okay. I mean, you're making me a promise. I'm going to hold you to it. So,
Yes, ma'am.
it's important for you all to know that those services are really important. Each one, there's a reason for each one of those things. And so here's where I'm going to tell you that you can work all these services, but if you can't stay away from drugs, I will not send the children home. I cannot send particularly little children like this. I cannot send children back to a home where there's active drug use. Methamphetamine is extremely dangerous to children. Those of us that do this day in and day out, we see some really terrible things that happen to kids because of methamphetamine use. Lifelong problems that they suffer as a result of exposure. We're talking, children that are ADHD, ADD, children that are autistic, children that, have been exposed at very young ages or in vitro to methamphetamine. So, you can spend a lot of time pouring through the data on this, but I could just tell you, I don't need to look at a whole lot of data to know that methamphetamine is very damaging to a child. It's damaging to you all too. I mean, let's just don't forget about the elephant in the room, but it also impairs your all's ability to make good judgment about your children, about their care and their well-being. So, just make no mistake. We are here because of drugs, and that's the major issue we want to address, because you can take all the parenting classes in the world, but if you can't get drug-free and stay drug-free for a while, then the rest of it really doesn't matter, because I will not send children home to any kind of active drug use. So, I'm not, and folks, I don't mean that to be threatening or intimidating. I really don't. I'm just telling you right up front, so you know what expectations that this court has of you, and kind of what standard we're going to go by. So, take advantage of everything that these folks are going to offer to you, because they really are here to help. We aren't the police. This isn't a criminal court. This court is about trying to turn families' lives around for the better. And that's what all of us want to do. We love success stories. I just can't tell you, when we have successful parents and kids get to go home and they're happy and they're healthy and the family is all back together again, nothing makes any of us happier than that. I mean, we just sit here and grin ear to ear on those days where we have those successes. So we want that to be your story.
We won't disappoint you, I promise.
I
All
would,
right, Ms. Ebling, I'm gonna go ahead and get your recommendation.
I'll talk about the children.
Yes.
Jesse is reported to be doing very well. He's engaged in speech therapy and occupational therapy in Lubbock. He's in daycare. I did have some dental work at Covenant Billings and Caps. Placement reports that he is not suffering any withdrawal symptoms that she is observing. Trip is a little bit different though. His
There's
placement
nothing wrong
reports.
with my son. He's always
Okay,
got
Miss,
beaten up by his big brother. Yes, ma'am. I'm
all right,
sorry.
Ms. Mata, don't interrupt, please.
As far as Trip is concerned, his placement reports, he has a lot of mood changes, and we realize he's 2 years old, but his meth levels were a lot higher than his brother's, and I realize those don't compare to adult results, or at least that's my understanding. But she does report that sometimes he acts different than she's accustomed to having seen him in the past. He cries a lot. She even took him to the doctor because he wouldn't stop crying, and the ER, that is, and they didn't run any tests on him, but I don't know that he has an infection. That was the only thing they thought might not be feeling well, but nothing showed up. She doesn't sleep well. He moves a lot. He has trouble being still. And again, he's 2 years old, but she thinks it's more of a restlessness. I think both, I think, report the visits are going well. They both supervise the visits together with the parents. I believe it was Jesse's that said it was Tripp's placement that said the parents do respect the boundaries when they tell them it's time for the visit to end. They do respect that. So there's not any concerns about the visits. So I feel like if those are going well now, that's a good sign, bodes well for the future. So they're doing well. They're adjusting to their placements, but I think they're doing well, all things considered. The main thing is to keep an eye on Tripp's situation. He's been accepted by ECI. I don't think they've gotten any services started yet, but they can work on behavioral therapy with him if needed.
Okay.
I think that's it.
All right, Ms. Mata, now you can tell me what you want to tell me.
Yes, ma'am. It's just I think when she took him to the doctor, he was constipated, from my understanding. It wasn't really like temperamental stuff or nothing. He had constipation, and that's why he was crying.
Okay.
Or that's what my aunt told me. So
Okay. Well, this is a huge adjustment for children of any age, and some adjust far quicker than others, and so, the siblings aren't together 24/7. That's a big adjustment for them. So there could be lots of reasons why, he's having a period of being unsettled. It may be the methamphetamine. It may be other things. It could be a combination of those things. But, I appreciate the fact that placement is staying on top of this and monitoring, and it might be helpful, Ms. Hooper, for her, if she isn't doing that, to maybe even kind of journal sort of his behaviors, and like, is it worse at certain times of day? Is it, is it aggravated by something else maybe, or is there some trigger? I think, we all kind of go through life day to day, and I think sometimes when we memorialize it on paper and go back and look at it, maybe we can see some patterns that we didn't really identify.
I was able to visit with both caregivers and both the boys yesterday, and I saw a huge difference between yesterday and last month at the very beginning of the case. Yes, they're 2 and 3, so yes, they're going to be loud and run around, but they were having fun together. They weren't as loud, even though they're young, but they were just more settled. It seemed like they were getting along. They were having fun. They sat down and watched cartoons for a little bit, which they didn't do that last month. So I saw a big improvement over last month and this month with the boys.
Okay. So we're headed in the right direction. That's good.
Yes.
Okay. It's just got to be an adjustment period. There's just no question that it's difficult. All right, then. Okay. So you've heard my speech. You'll know what to expect. And, I want to take this opportunity to wish you both the very best of, success with your services. We're all rooting for you. We want this to have a good ending. So, I will see everybody back, November 13th of 2024. That'll be on a 1 o'clock docket like today. And that's another review hearing. It's called an initial permanency hearing. We'll just kind of do a check-in, see how things are going, see how y'all are coming on your services, see if we've got any problems we need to work out, that kind of thing. So, I'll see everybody back in a couple months, and I hope everything, moves along well and goes well. All right. And I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I will continue the children's current placements, and see y'all back then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Ferguson, for
Thank you,
purposes
Judge.
of the order, of course, I would make a finding that there'd be a continuing danger to return. the
Thank
children.
you. Thank you.
All right.
And-
Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Judge Baker,
Yes, ma'am.
can I talk to you about something that I need to give you a heads up on, and not
Yeah.
on this case?
Yeah, sure. For our initial permanency hearing, we're conducting this through Zoom. We're live streaming, and I am recording to the Zoom cloud. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Pamela Ferguson, Regional Attorney representing the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. I'm present and ready with Permanency Specialist Lisa Hooper and Supervisor Jasmine DeVroe, both from St. Francis Ministries.
Savannah Kincaid, I represent Miss Motto. We're both present and ready.
Jim Shaw, representing the father. We're present and ready, Your Honor.
Linda Ebling for the children, present and ready.
All right, then. Who's going to give us an update today, Ms. Ferguson?
Ms. Hooper will give us the update.
Okay, Ms. Hooper, what all has happened since the court report was filed? Because we've all probably looked at it.
Yeah, there's a few things with the children. Both of the boys overall are doing well. Trip has started last week. He started play counseling. He seems to have anger issues with biting himself and hitting himself. So they want to address that and see kind of if they can help him with that. ECI also wants to test him for autism. He's got some behaviors that think he may be a little autistic, but of course they want to test him to make sure. He is in speech therapy. His speech continues to improve all the time. He's saying more words. He's speaking to people where you can hear him or you can understand him. So they're real happy with the speech they are. He is also doing occupational therapy and physical therapy. He wants to drink all the time. He always wants to have a cup with him. And so and he eats very few different items. So they want to look at if there's any food textures that he doesn't like. So they're working on that too. I think they're just starting to work on that, but it is something they're looking at. They also want to test him for sleep apnea. In the middle of the night, he sleepwalks. You can get up and find him asleep on the couch or asleep in the kitchen, so they're wanting to do some little bit of a testing on him there to make sure there's not anything additional other than just sleepwalking. He is having some issues with diarrhea at daycare. Placement hasn't really figured out exactly what's going on. They'll call him and say, hey, he's got diarrhea, come pick him up. This last time she took him to the doctor, he did have a little bit of a runny nose and stuff, so they did get medicine for that. But the diarrhea, she says he doesn't have it at home, but he does have it at daycare, and what she has seen has been the very little of the loose stool. So that's still, we haven't figured out exactly what's going on there, but it's an issue they're looking at. Placement says he does eat breakfast at daycare. She says he eats well there. The doctor said with his runny nose and stuff, it may be a virus. She did get medicine for the runny nose, and medicine. So if he does need a breathing treatment, she will have that, for future reference. And that is Trip. With Jesse, tomorrow they are going to do a scope down his throat to see, because he doesn't like a lot of foods. The texture is what bothers him. And so they are going to run a scope down his throat to see if there's anything that could possibly be hurting him or bothering his throat. They just want to rule that out. So that's going to be a step tomorrow. December 16th, he has a hearing test. The first hearing test wasn't successful, so they're going to go back next month and try again. School for little Jesse's going wonderful. Placement says he's in a 3-year-old class there in Floydada. It's a very small teacher to student ratio, so he gets a lot of individual treatment there and attention. They are working on his sharing, his, I guess you could say, impatience. When he wants something, he wants it now. So they are working on that. They are also helping her starting the potty training process. So she's thankful for the help they have offered there. She did have him tested for autism. They said he's on the slight spectrum, very slight autistic. They have not started any treatment for that. They are supposed to be in contact with her to let her know the process from here on out for that. He hasn't been sick, probably in about the last month. She also has medication and breathing treatment. So if something does happen there, then she's ready for it. The kids are having visits with their parents on a weekly basis. I hear mixed stories on how the visits are going. They are usually at Ophelia's house. She is the placement for Jesse. Sometimes there's arguing between the parents. I think that they report that Trip is starting to pick up foul language that they're hearing at the visits. So that's something that we are going to address to hopefully nip that in the bud so that won't happen on a continuous basis. That's really all for the health and how the kids are doing. Do you want me to continue with the parents or?
Yes, please.
Okay. There's been just a few updates since the report. Back here to the. I am having an incredibly hard time getting a hold of, especially James and more James than I am Maricela, to get them for a drug test. Last month I asked Mr. Hicks if every Monday I need a text from you letting me know where you're going. So if it comes into a drug test time, I'll know where you are, because he travels out of town quite often. And I told him if he goes out of town and it's drug test time, we'll find a facility where you are. We'll do all the paperwork to get it paid. I just need to know where you are, and I need to be able to communicate with you. I've tried twice since then. I haven't heard back from him. So I'm struggling at that point. Also with Miss Mata, you'll see on the report that they haven't tested since, I believe, September. We tried twice in October. James did not go at all to drug test in October. And Maricela tried the very 1st of October, I think October 2nd. And I may be incorrect on James, but let me go back. Maricela went to Lubbock to try to drug test. She had her mother. They had an issue with her mother, and they were not able to get to the drug test place. I filled out additional paperwork for them to go back, and their phones were disconnected. And so I texted them, and the next day I called them, and that is when I realized the phones were disconnected. And I did not hear back from them for a couple of days. And so at that point, it was too late to send them again to drug test. So in October, there were not any drug tests taken. So that's where I'm struggling, getting the communication with them and getting them to the drug test facilities. I have texted Mr. Hicks twice this month to find out where he's going to be, and I haven't heard back from him either, so I can get the drug test prepared. So really that's the biggest change. He continues to work. She continues to be contracted work for him. He continues to live in the same home. Maricela states that she is living in her other home because her mother was staying with her, and due to the dementia issues, she was staying with her mother over there. So she may go back and forth, but that was the last information I was told last month on where she's living. They've been compliant with meeting me every month. Excuse me, with the counseling. The report states that they have missed 3 times. Actually, now they've missed 4. And they did go to counseling this week, November 11th. And Miss Waddell states that their next appointment is on December 2nd. So they've missed a lot of appointments that they've made. They just haven't gone. They just haven't made it to the counseling until this week. So that's the update on that. And I believe, excuse me, that is all of the updates on the parents.
And Your Honor, can I bring up an issue?
Yes, ma'am.
At the I guess it was at the adversary hearing, maybe at the status hearing, I have a note on here that we had told the parents that their visitation would stop if UAs were positive for meth. And we would ask that the court change that to stop the visitation if they no show on a drug test until they take a drug test. We also have a concern because Miss Mata looks like her hair color has changed. And I don't know when that happened.
Okay, I'll take that up here in a minute. Ms. Hooper, anything else as far as updates?
No, ma'am, I think that is all.
Okay. All right, Ms. Kincaid.
I think that my client has a few things that she just wants to clarify, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Okay, I'd call her if that's possible.
All right, Ms. Mata, raise your right hand for me.
Oh, right hand. I'm sorry.
You swear or affirm that the testimony you'll give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Ms. Kincaid, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Concerning the drug screen that you missed over in Lubbock, your mom has dementia, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And whenever you were with her in Lubbock, she kind of had a breakdown. Is that fair to say?
That's putting it lightly. Yes, ma'am.
Well, she ran into traffic and tried to escape from you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And there's a police report over in Lubbock County where you called the police to try to get her back under control. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And as a result of that was the issue that occurred for the drug test on October 2nd. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And your phone was disconnected briefly. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. But I did try to contact her through a texting app, and I do have screenshots to prove that I did. And when I told Lisa about it, she
hang
didn't
on,
reply to me.
just answer the question I'm asking you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So whenever you got your phone reconnected, did you reach out?
Yes.
And you were willing to pay for the drug screen yourself if that was necessary. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is there any particular reason that you changed your hair color?
No, ma'am. It's because I was messing with a friend of mine, and I had colored it black, and I was just being just dumb. It was probably a month and a half, 2 months ago, maybe month and a half ago that I did it. And the only reason I did it is because I had little spots like where my hair color was natural, and I mean it looked funny. It just looked really funny is all.
Okay. And you have completed your parenting classes as well as several other things on your family plan of service. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you understand that all the other things on the family plan of service or orders of the court, and you've got to get those done. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And just changing gears a little bit, you're asking that we do a home study on your aunt. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what is her name?
Maria Cuellar.
And can you spell her last name?
Cuellar.
Okay. And is she a maternal aunt or paternal aunt?
She's my aunt. She's a maternal.
Okay. And part of the reason for that is just some of the scheduling conflicts with visits,
Yes, ma'am.
and that you want to make sure that the boys get weekly visitation with each other in addition to visitation with y'all. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you feel like she would be a good backup option for the boys. So, or if it's beneficial to the boys to change that placement.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
Ms. Kincaid, what was the name again of this individual?
Maria Cuellar, Cuellar.
All right, thank you.
And that's all
Okay,
I have.
anybody else, anybody have any questions they want to ask Ms. Mata?
Your Honor, I do actually.
Okay.
Ms. Mata, you indicated that you have completed several other things. What are those several other things?
I've also I've already begun my NA classes. I've also got a sponsor. I've done more than the 12 hours required of me of the parenting classes. Because I like the topic that they were on. I continue to do all of those.
Okay, and AA is ongoing, is that correct? That wouldn't
Yes.
be completed, is that correct?
Well, I completed the 12 hours that were required of me, and I just keep doing it. Yes, ma'am.
No, I'm asking you about AANA.
Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am. I'm doing it currently. I mean, they didn't give me an hour time, so I just do. I do.
And that would be an ongoing thing to help with your.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so since October 2nd, why haven't you taken a drug test?
I offered to take one. Lisa messaged me twice last week, and I told her that I was ready. I was home whenever she was ready, and she just didn't reply.
And was that after you dyed your hair?
Before even.
Your Honor, I pass the witness.
Okay, but let's clarify. I thought you said you changed your hair color a month or two ago.
Yes, ma'am. I've done it twice. I mean,
You've changed your hair color twice?
yes, ma'am. I didn't realize that was like. I mean, nobody ever told me that I wasn't allowed to. Or
All right. When was the last time you changed it?
I'm gonna say, I believe 2 days after I saw Lisa last.
Well,
I'm
that
not
doesn't
real
say
sure on the
when.
date.
When did you see her last?
I'm not sure of the date. I don't remember the date, and I don't have my binder with me right this moment.
Has it been a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
No, ma'am. It's been at least 3 weeks. At least 3 weeks. Possibly a month.
Okay, anybody else have any questions for Ms. Mata?
Just a couple, Your Honor.
All right.
Ms. Mata, where does Miss Cuellar live?
She lives here in Florida.
Okay. And you've been able to have weekly visits with the children, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have missed any?
No.
Okay. And are you aware that the boys see each other?
That's the only reason I'm trying to get Maria in, is because Estella's trying to separate the visitation. My daughter went over there last week to see her little brother, and she wouldn't even let her see him. Like, she doesn't let anybody see him.
Okay. That wasn't my question. Do you know if the boys are seeing each other?
They are not.
Not at all?
No, ma'am.
And how do you know that?
Well, I mean, they don't see each other unless Fridays. I ask.
You ask who?
Ophelia, because Estella keeps me blocked all week.
So you asked Ophelia?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you mentioned a daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
And where does your daughter live?
She lives with her dad.
Okay. Best witness.
Okay, any further questions for Ms. Mata?
Oh, there was one other thing she wanted to bring up, Judge.
Uh-huh.
It sounds like Estella is taking a trip to Odessa this weekend. Is that correct?
Yes.
And as far as you're aware, the person that's going to be transporting them is not licensed to drive. Is that correct?
Yes.
So you would ask that if they take the trip, which is fine, that they don't take trip with them.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass witness.
Let me ask Ms. Hooper what she knows about that.
Ma'am, Judge, excuse me. Yes, ma'am. The man, the guy that we're going with, I do have a driver's license. So I am, or my son-in-law is going to drive, or my future son-in-law. He does have a driver's license. Yes,
Alright, so
ma'am.
either
That is not because I do have a Texas driver's license, so I can drive, or he can drive. Rosalinda will not be driving.
Okay.
That is the unlicensed one.
Just be absolutely sure whoever is driving
Yes,
has a
ma'am.
valid driver's
Yes, ma'am.
license.
Yes, ma'am. And he does have a car seat and all that.
Okay.
I would ask if he's had a background check.
No, but my Rosalinda and I do. But if there's a problem, I
I'm
will do
sorry.
the driving.
I was asking the department if they have approved someone else to transport the child.
Okay.
No, we haven't discussed it. I didn't know they were, so I haven't ran any extra background checks on anyone.
Can we run a check on him just to make sure we don't have any, concerning traffic involved, driving involved offenses?
Absolutely.
All right, so Ms. Salinas, you're gonna need to be cooperative with Ms. Hooper to get his driver's license number and his full name.
Okay. No, ma'am, I can do the driving. I will drive myself. I am licensed to drive. I will drive myself. I will be doing the driving to Odessa.
And this other individual will not be?
And he can go in another vehicle, but I will do the driving. It's only going to be for one day.
Well, is he gonna be in the vehicle with you?
Yes, ma'am, he will be.
Or is there some reason you're concerned about us running his background?
No, ma'am, I do not, but he works out of town and I don't know when he's coming back, probably until Friday, because he does work in Odessa. That's why I'm saying I will do the driving because he's already in Odessa.
All right, Ms. Hooper, I want you to follow up with her on all this.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, all right, Mr. Shaw.
Judge, on behalf of the father, as far as the service is concerned, he's fully engaged. The therapy, as indicated by the caseworker, he buys and sells cattle, so he is on the road a lot, trying to set up those days in which he can get to those with everybody else is a problem, but he's trying to work on that. As far as the drug test is concerned, on the report, it indicates to August 19th that he didn't show up because and reported that he was sick. He had COVID that week, and that's why he did not go. On September the 26th, he did appear at the place to do the drug test. The drug test place indicated that they did not have the correct paperwork, that they would send that back to the department. He came back the next day on the 27th. They indicated that they still did not have the correct paperwork. And then he was not asked to come back after that. On 10/17, He was out of town on working and was not able to go to that. So there has to be some kind of latitude as far as him being able to report on these drug tests after they've been asked to take place, at least 48 hours or something. The hair strand's not going to change within that time period. As far as any kind of discussions during the visits, he indicated that there's not been any kind of cussing or anything during the visits. There is a problem with one of the placements that's not cooperative with the parents, and that's one of the reasons they're asking for a change in placement. At this point, he's doing everything that he can. It just needs to, as far as the scheduling, needs to get a little bit more on point.
Where all does your client travel to?
Mr. Hicks, can you tell the court?
Yes, ma'am. It varies. I usually go to the same places yearly, year in and year out, but the dates and times are dictated by weather and feed yard capacity, trucking. There's several variables that depend on where I'm at. But Vaughn, New Mexico to Springfield, Missouri, just in Texas Panhandle here as well.
All right, you drive a cattle truck?
No, ma'am. I'm a cattle buyer.
Okay. When you have to leave the state, how long are you usually gone?
2-3 days. When I go to New Mexico, it's 2 day deal. Go to Missouri's 3 day deal.
Are you at home now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Hooper, they got a drug screen in Lubbock, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. The paperwork has been sent in and it's there.
All right. Mr. Hicks, Ms. Mata, can you both go drug screen tomorrow by noon?
Yes, ma'am.
We have that. What do we got here? 10:30. What do we got to do? We have a meeting.
We have some kind of a CPS meeting at 10:30, Your Honor.
Yes.
Where is that meeting?
It can be done on Teams.
St. Francis Ministries.
Okay, everybody's talking to me at once. I'm asking, all right, Ms. Hooper, what time is it meeting?
It's at 10:30. They can either do it on Teams or in person, either one.
Well,
But if they do it in person, it's in Lubbock. Sorry.
How long is that meeting going to take?
30-ish minutes, maybe. Not long. It's just a permanency conference.
Then they can go straight to drug screen after that meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Go to the permanency conference and then go drug screen immediately following that permanency conference.
Yes, ma'am.
And Your Honor, can I clarify just with
Ms.
Ms. Hooper, what is it? Is the department asking for a hair strand UA and for Ms. Mata a nail bed test?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm ordering all those things.
May I ask what that consists of? Because I literally bite my nails off. I've got a nervous tick is all, and I've just always done it.
Well, the lab will have to look at it and see what they can do, and I don't know whether they'll take a toenail.
Yes, ma'am. I keep them all pretty trim, but yes, ma'am.
All right, and so might as well just cover this right now since we're addressing drug testing. I'm going to order that neither party can alter their hair color during the pendency of the case. Mr. Hicks, that may sound silly to you, but you'd just be shocked what I see. So.
I just wasn't aware. I do apologize for that. I just wasn't aware.
Okay, well, you're just gonna have to leave it as it is now.
Yes, ma'am. I can do that.
And Your Honor, can I clarify? So that means that the natural hair will be growing out. She won't continue to dye it. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I also have some of my hair before I colored it. Because I got some epoxy in it, if that helps any. I mean, I've literally got it on my table. I mean, I have it sitting inside.
I don't have any way of knowing that's your hair. So, okay. All right, and just while we're on it, part of my order today is also going to be that no one will drive the children unless the department has run a background check on them. So
Judge, can I
placements have
verify
already had background checks done. So that placements clearly can drive.
Ma'am, this is Estela. If there's gonna be a problem with taking the kids out, I can leave her with a backup, which is Ophelia, if I go to Odessa. Ophelia will take it, because I'm only going for one day. That's gonna be a problem.
That's up to you, Miss
I'm
Salinas.
speaking to Ophelia. Yeah, ma'am.
I mean, that's up to you all. You can do that. That's fine.
It's just because it's just gonna be one day, because I want to go it's an early Thanksgiving with my son.
I understand.
But I can leave him with Ophelia that day.
Okay, it's whatever you want to do.
It's gonna be Saturday.
It's whatever you want to do.
I'll do that. I'll do it on Saturday, Sunday.
Okay, Miss Salinas, you can't talk over
Yes,
me.
ma'am.
Whatever you want to do is fine. You can take the child, but you have to drive. You can leave the child with Ms. McCown if you want to do that.
Once we get everybody on this.
Okay. All right. All right. I want to hear from Miss Ebling.
Your Honor, don't have anything to add to what was reported about the children. I am hearing some of the same information about conflicting information about the visits. I'm not too sure that it might be better for St. Francis, even if the placements are still monitoring, maybe to have a visit monitor present, someone other than placements, just to alleviate any of these questions about what might be going on in the visits. I don't think we want to get something started that might affect the children.
You have any issues with the home study being done on Ms. Cuellar?
No, I don't think it ever hurts to have a backup in case something happens, but I think she's entitled to ask for a home study. And then if we need a placement hearing, we'll have a placement hearing.
Okay, so right now, let me just make sure I've got an accurate picture. Our parents are visiting the children in their respective placements? No. Okay.
My understanding is that the last visit was with Miss McCowan, but the others have been places like Dairy Queen or the park. But obviously the weather's changing, so that will have an effect on being able to do those visits outdoors or always at Dairy Queen. I don't think Dairy Queen there has a place for the kids to run and play either. So I think they're going to have to find something else that works better.
Okay, so that sounds to me like parents are visiting under the supervision of placement.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, I had some people nodding their heads yes and some people nodding their heads no, and so that was not clear. Okay.
Can I help clarify?
Just not in the home.
Your Honor, can I ask Lisa to just clarify? And also visits, the boys are visiting each other, I believe. I'd ask her to clarify that.
Yeah, I'd speak with both placements on a regular basis. The boys are visiting each other throughout the week. They can tell you more about when and how often they are seeing each other. Since the weather has started getting cooler, the visits have been at Miss McCowan's home. She does not mind that. At first, they were at Dairy Queen at the park when it was warmer. But over the last month, 6 weeks or so, I think they have been at Miss McCowan's home, and the visits have gone okay there. Miss McCowan does not mind them being there, the visits.
Okay, so whatever purported problem we were having with the visits with Miss Salinas. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Well, for now, if Miss McCown doesn't mind to sort of be the supervisor and host those visits, that's great. I am going to order the home study on Ms. Cuellar. I agree with Ms. Ebling. It's always better to have options. Let's take a look at that.
Hello? May I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I don't mind if Macy and James come to my house for visitation. That's always fine. That's not a problem for me. It's easier for Jesse when they do come here. When they leave, it's not as hard on Jesse when they leave. So it's 100% fine that they come here and visit the kids.
Okay. I appreciate it very much.
Bye.
All right. So regarding visitation and the drug testing. We're obviously going to get some drug tests here pretty quick. So Ms. Mata and hang on, we lost. No, I think we did lose Mr. Hicks.
I have James right here with me.
I got
Okay.
disconnected.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Ms. Mata and Mr. Hicks, let me just talk to y'all about your services real quick. You know, one of the biggest reasons why we're here and we're involved in y'all is because of the drug issue. And you can work all these other services, but if y'all don't drug screen timely for us and, you know, we keep missing those things, I mean, I'm just going to tell you right now, we're going to have a problem. Because that's, you know, one of the single biggest reasons we're here. I understand you work out of town and we will work with you on that, but you've got to answer Ms. Hooper's texts or calls when those come in. If you're out of town and you can't, you know, if you're, you know, where you're not even close to anywhere that might be able to do that, but you know, you just need to communicate with her. So
Yes,
failure
ma'am.
to show up timely for those drug tests is deemed a positive result.
Yes, ma'am.
So every time y'all no-show one of those suckers, it's going in your column as a positive drug test. Okay?
Okay.
The same applies for your other services, you know, setting these appointments, and then no-showing appointments, missing them. I'll just tell y'all, we are so short on providers in this part of the state to provide these services as it is. When you no-show so many of these appointments, some of these providers just say, I'm done. I'm not going to schedule another appointment with these folks because they don't ever show up. And that's a time slot I could have given someone that was going to show up.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I will just tell you, you know, it's hard enough for us to find providers. And then when you all just blow those things off, you know, then they're very unhappy with everybody. And it's, you know, quite frankly, it's one of the reasons we lose providers because they get tired of parents that don't show up for things. You know, they schedule their day. I mean, they're like any other professional. They've got their day scheduled. And, you know, when you all don't show up or you make an appointment and you no-show it, then, you know, that's a time slot they could have given to somebody else who really needed it and wanted the time with them. So it's common courtesy as much as anything. You know, if I'm going to be 5 minutes late to my haircut, I contact the lady that does it. And I tell her, I apologize. I'm going to be 5 minutes late. That's common courtesy.
Yes, ma'am. And we did that last time. I mean, we were leaving work and we did attempt to message her, but.
Well, the reason I'm having this conversation with you right now is we are still relatively early on in your case. So my mission is to get your attention
while you still have time to turn the ship around. Okay? Because by the time we get to our next hearing, in March, at that point in time, we're way into this case. And it starts getting really hard to turn the ship around at that point. The current is all going the other direction by then. I mean, the kids have already been in care now 154 days. 154 days. So the clock is ticking. So I just want to make sure you all remember what I told you at the status hearing, which is failure to work your services could result in the children not coming home, and it can also mean termination of your parental rights. I didn't just say those things at the status hearing, just to, appear that I have some authority. I'm required by law to tell you those things, but I'm going to remind you again of it because it seems like maybe y'all weren't listening. So listen to me now. It can mean termination of your parental rights if you don't get these services worked. And you've got 12 months to do it. And 154 of those days have already clicked by. There are only limited reasons why this case can go beyond 12 months. And just, sitting around and not doing stuff until the last minute isn't one of those reasons why I extend a case. So I want everybody to have an understanding when we leave each other today. All right, then. I'm going to continue the department as temporary managing conservator and continue the children's current placement. I will order the home study on Ms. Cuellar. Take a look at that. If we need to have a placement hearing on that prior to our March hearing, y'all let me know and we'll schedule something. I will order parents to drug test, as we've already said, hair, UA, and nail test on mom after they are finished with their permanency conference tomorrow. No one will alter the color of their hair during the pendency of the case. And I'm going to go a little step further, Mr. Hicks. You can't have your hair cut shorter than, say, 1.5 inches. Same is true, Ms. Mata. So neither of you can alter the color of your hair nor have it cut shorter than 1.5 inches. I'm not going to interrupt your visits at this point. I'm going to allow you to continue to visit with the children. If those drug screens come back concerning, if the UAs come back positive for anything, then I will authorize the department to stop in-person visits until we have a negative UA on each of you. I'm not talking about hair, I'm talking about UAs.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll let you have virtual visits, but no in-person visits. The reason for that is a health and safety issue for the children. It's not designed to be punitive to you. Or the children in particular, but it's a health concern. All right. As I said earlier, no one will drive the children unless departments run a background check on them. And I'll make a finding that there would be a continuing danger to return the children home today. That the department will continue to use reasonable efforts to reunify the family. And as I said already, our next hearing will be March 12th. And that'll be on a 1 o'clock docket. And it'll be on Zoom, just like this.
Your Honor, did you order the home study on Maria Quager? I didn't put it in my notes.
I did,
Thank you, Judge.
and said that if y'all need a placement hearing, let me know.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, anybody have any questions?
Your Honor, I have two things to clarify. On the home study, I don't know if this is the first we've heard of this name, but I would ask for the ability to do preliminary background checks. We typically don't go forward with a home study if the background checks don't pass. So I would ask for the ability to not go forward with the home study if the preliminary background checks, as far as CPS and criminal history, do not pass.
That's fine, because if there's things in the background, if there's criminal history, if there's CPS history or something like that, it's gonna bar that from being a potential placement. So.
Yes. And it's just, it's a cost thing. We typically don't go forward with the cost of a home study if preliminary checks don't work.
Yeah.
Secondly, I would just clarify, for the in-person visits, is that throughout the life of the case if there is a positive UA?
No, what I said was
Okay.
it will stop in-person visits. I'll allow virtual visits until we have a negative UA on them.
Okay.
And then they can resume in person.
Okay.
As long as the UAs are negative.
Right. But what my question was, if the UA is positive later on down the case, do we stop in-person visits at that time? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Or if we get a hair test that's obviously going up as opposed to down.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, then I'll see everybody back March 12th, unless y'all, somebody needs to have a hearing on placement before that time. All right, thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Pamela, who are you looking for on this one?
Sorry, let me, I believe Lisa Hooper and Jasmine Devereaux.
I don't have Miss Mata in. Savannah, were you expecting her?
I believe we were expecting her. Yes.
Okay, I'll watch for her and see if
Yes. Yes, sorry. I just spoke to her before lunch.
Okay, all right, I'll watch for her. We still have a couple minutes.
She may be with Mr. Hicks.
This is a case out of Floyd County, Texas, being heard via Zoom by visiting Judge Kathy Morris for Judge Baker. We're here today for a permanency review before a final order in this case. So I'm going to ask everyone to please state your name and give your announcement. We'll start with Ms. Ferguson.
Pamela Ferguson, Regional Attorney representing the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. I'm present and ready with Permanency Specialist Lisa Hooper and Supervisor Dakota Miller, standing in for Supervisor Jasmine Devereaux, all from St. Francis Ministries.
Okay, thank you.
Savannah Kincaid, I represent Ms. Mata. We're both present and ready.
Jim Shaw representing the father, present ready, Your Honor.
Delinda Ebling ad litem, present and ready.
We get everybody? All right, I see both parents are are on the call as well. So before we go to testimony, I'm going to ask each of you on this call, including the parents and the caseworkers who are not attorneys in this case, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony given in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. All right, you may proceed, Ms. Ferguson.
Your Honor, I would call on Lisa Hooper to give the report to the court.
Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Hooper.
Since the court report was done a couple of weeks ago, I spoke with James and Maricela on Monday. They stated that they had started intensive outpatient therapy at Grace Manor in Lubbock. I called Grace Manor to confirm. They confirmed that Maricela had signed up and had started on Monday, the 10th, but James had not done his intake yet, so he was not officially in it. He had come with Maricela to the classes that she had gone to, but he was not signed up officially yet. So I asked them Monday if they would go drug test Tuesday morning, and then I would meet with them Tuesday afternoon. So they said they would. I met with them 2:00 yesterday afternoon at their home in Florida. I asked Maricela if she had gone to test, and she said no, that she had just gotten back. And then James said he had not. He was about to lose his job, so he had not gone to test. So I talked to them that, we had court today that needed to be done, and they had until 4:30 yesterday afternoon to get to the facility in Lubbock to test. And neither one of them went. Maricela, in her intensive outpatient, she said she is going to go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And like I said, she signed up on the 10th, which was Monday. She states that she is planning on starting nursing school. The first 2 weeks will be online. After that, she will go to Ruidoso to the school for about 3 months. I asked her how she was going to do that and do the intensive outpatient at the same time. And she said she would come back for that, and then she could do some schooling online. But that was her plan at this point. So they are living in the same home they've been living in throughout the case. So they do have home. I spoke with the counselor Monday, and she said she did recommend them to be at least in outpatient therapy. She said they need inpatient, but if they won't do that, I would suggest at least the intensive outpatient therapy. So I believe that is what Maricela has signed up for. I think that's all the information I have on the parents. The boys.
And would you characterize them as being in compliance or not in compliance with their family plan of service?
Not in compliance.
Okay, thank you. So go ahead.
The boys are both placed with different aunts. Tripp is with Estella Salinas, and Jesse is with Ophelia McCowan. Both boys are doing very well in both of their placements. Tripp, I saw him yesterday, and his vocabulary has just gone through the roof. He's talking in sentences. You can hear it, you can understand him. So he's doing very well. He eats good. He still sleepwalks a little bit, but Estella said that she has put like a baby gate up at her door, and so he doesn't roam all over the house when he is sleepwalking. The doctor has suggested a sleep test, so she's working on getting that appointment made. Allergies a little bit, but they have not had any significant health issues. They are up to date on all of their dental and shots and everything. I know when this case started, Tripp, they did blood work, and he had lead in his blood, but throughout the whole case, they had his last blood test, and there was not any lead reported in his blood. So that's good that has gotten out of his system. Jesse is potty trained. He only wears a pull-up at night, so he's doing awesome. He does great at his little 3-year-old school. They let him go to the little 4-year-old class sometime just so he can see what it's going to be like next year. But they're both doing very, very well. His vocabulary's improved. He's a picky eater. So, but he has not lost weight. He's gained a little bit of weight. So the doctor said he's doing fine. As long as he's not losing weight, the doctor's not concerned. So both of them are doing very well. They have a couple of weekly sibling visits. They get together and play for a little while. And then also on Fridays before the visit with mom and dad, the little boys get together and are able to play a little bit. So they are seeing each other 2-3 times a week. So that has improved since the last court hearing. I can't think of anything else really that the boys, I mean, they're both doing so well. They've improved a lot with Jesse being potty trained now. Excuse me. So I feel both of them are doing very, very well.
What's the department's permanency goal in this case?
We staffed a couple weeks ago to flip the permanency on these. We changed it to relative adoption, concurrent with family reunification.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else have additional questions for Ms. Hooper? Ms. Ferguson, did you have any questions?
No, and I would just encourage the parents that permanency goal can always be flipped back if they start to make progress, like especially with outpatient treatment. So I do want to encourage them in that.
Right, thank you. So Ms. Kincaid, do you have any questions for Ms. Hooper?
Yes, Your Honor. Since the permanency report was filed, what progress has Ms. Mata made on her service plan?
I would have to check the dates of any counseling dates. She did not go to her drug testing yesterday like she was asked. So I can't say she's made any more advancement on her service plan.
Okay. Is she attending individual counseling?
She is. Her and James both are. I don't have the last date. Let me see if I have it in my court report. The last court report, I have the February 4th, but I think they have been since then. I don't have the date of when the last one they went to. But that's the last date that I have that they went.
Okay, but they are attending individual counseling.
Yes.
Okay. Has she maintained contact with you?
Yes.
Is their housing safe and appropriate?
Yes.
Do you know if Miss Mata is working?
She is not. She told me she was going to go to nursing school.
Okay. In the past, she did have employment, though. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Does she allow you access to the home?
Yes.
Has she been attending her visits as they're scheduled?
With the boys?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And has she completed her psychological evaluation?
Yes.
And she's completed her parenting classes, is that correct? Oh, did you hear me? You may have cut out.
Oh yeah, I said correct.
Okay, thank you. I may have lost signal there for a second. And she's completed her OSAR, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, they completed it, I believe, but we have had very, very bad luck getting information to the OSAR people, and getting information back from the OSAR people. So I believe she did complete it, but I don't know if they've had a change of staff at the OSAR, but getting them to answer emails is almost impossible. So we are struggling with that.
I think that this isn't the only case where we're struggling with that.
Oh no, it's all of them.
Mm-hmm. And since the last hearing, has she been arrested for any new criminal activity?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. So far as services that she's been asked to work have either been completed or are currently in process. Is that correct?
I don't know if you would call the non-compliance on the drug test in progress, since they didn't go drug test yesterday. I'm not sure the exact verb would be for that.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
Mr. Shaw?
No questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Eberling?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Hooper, the only thing I would bring up is Ms. Salinas reported to me that Tripp was having a lot of anger issues,
And I wondered if y'all had discussed that and if you might be able to refer him for some play therapy. And I don't know if that might be something that would benefit Jesse as well.
Is Estella and I spoke about that yesterday. She told me that she had spoken with Medicaid and they were going to refer her to some counselors. I do know one in Lubbock that does play therapy. Obviously, I'm sure there's more, but I do know I have one for another client that does play therapy. I think he would have to be transported to Lubbock for that. I mean, I'm not saying it can't be, but that would be an issue I could discuss with Estella.
Are there any therapists that would offer that in Plainview, since that would probably be a little bit closer?
I have not found one. I'm having a hard time finding counselors at all in Plainview.
Okay.
So I have not
that.
found one with play that's contracted with St. Francis.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I had, Your Honor.
Let me just ask you, I'm assuming that drug usage has been an issue in this case, in the history of this case. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you indicated that the mother has just signed up for the outpatient and the father has not started it yet. Is that a major concern in terms of considering progress on this case?
Yes, very major concern.
Okay, so would you say, and I'll just say that it seems to me that getting that drug treatment would be of significant concern and priority going forward. Is that a fair statement?
Absolutely. When I spoke with James yesterday, I believe he said that he thought it was a 14-week program. If they decide to stay in it that long, I believe it was 14 that he said. But yes, it's a huge concern for us.
Okay, thank you. All right. Anything else? Anything else from you, Ms. Ferguson, or any statements or reports from any of the lawyers?
Your Honor, I have one more question I forgot to ask.
Sure.
When was the last date of the hair follicle for Miss Mata?
The last hair strand was in February.
Okay. Have you gotten the results back?
I have. It was positive. I can tell you exactly the numbers.
No, I'm not. If you'll just send it to me, I've never seen it
Absolutely.
on file, so I don't know. I'm kind of flying blind a little bit.
Okay, absolutely. I can send those to you.
Thank you.
Judge, on behalf of my client, did you ask if we had a statement?
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Shaw.
As far as the reports indicated that he has maintained his home, he's currently working. He's complying with, he's been meeting with the permanency specialist. He's attending his visits, as testified there in their counseling. He has also completed his psychological evaluation. He is in that drug treatment. I don't know why they don't have the paperwork. He's going to the classes. I don't know why they don't have him signed up also. As far as the drug testing, from the report, it has consistently gone down as far as the hair strands are concerned. And on the 2/6, he had a clean UA. I don't know what the issue was yesterday, but he has indicated that they would, if the court would allow them to have a 24-hour notice when they go to the drug test, that allows them to drive from Florida and make arrangements to get there and get back if that's possible.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Shaw. Ms. Kincaid, do you have any kind of a statement you'd like to make?
Yes, briefly, Your Honor. Most of it was testified to by Ms. Hooper, so I don't need to cover those bases again. But yes, it's correct that Ms. Mata has started outpatient treatment. In addition, there was a home study recently, or well, it was approved back in December, and you may want to wait and allow Judge Baker to make a determination on that. But I did want to bring that to everyone's attention that we do have an approved home study to potentially place the children together or to place Trip with that placement. And that may be, you may not want to go into that today.
Okay, I'll address that in a minute, but thank you, Ms. Kincaid. Ms. Eberling, do you have a report to the court or a
I don't have
statement?
anything to, I'm sorry, I don't have anything to add to what Ms. Hooper reported, other than the kids are doing well in their placements, and I'm glad that they get to see each other as often as they do. So I don't have any concerns.
Okay. Ms. Ferguson, how's this department want to go forward today?
Your Honor, on the placement issue, I wasn't aware that anybody was asking for placement. Nobody has filed a motion. Typically, we file a motion instead of hearing on it. So I wasn't actually prepared with witnesses on that issue today.
Okay. Anything else that we need to address?
Nothing else, Your Honor, at this time.
Okay, I'm going to hold off on that home study, and I don't know what y'all's procedures are here, and I'm going to let Judge Baker handle that, and you can handle that the same way that y'all normally do those requests for placements. I think that, in my opinion, when you change a placement, you don't want to change it just without having some time and consideration as to whether that's going to be beneficial long term. So I'm going to hold off on on that request. I will find that neither parent is in compliance with the plan of service at this time. Basically, it seems to me that the issue, the drug issue, has yet to be resolved, and that neither parent has successfully completed a drug treatment program, and there's continue to be some either positive drug tests or failure to comply with drug tests. And that's a major concern. And what I will tell you, and I used to tell people this, is you can do every other service, but if you're continuing to use drugs, then you're not going to be considered safe to have your children placed with you. So and I commend you for the other work that you're doing. That's hard, and that's really good that you all are doing, that you've done the psychological, the parenting. Those are really, really important. And so I commend you for doing that. However, we've got to make sure that the children will be in a safe situation, and that means being drug-free. And I need both of you to understand that your rights are still subject to being restricted or even terminated. Do both parents understand that? I could just nod. Okay. But as Ms. Ferguson said, if you can get that drug treatment and get going with that, I think that, this can be turned around, and we can be looking at family reunification, which is always the goal in these cases. I will continue the children in their current placements for now, and find that those placements are in the best interest of the children. It is not in the best interest of the children to be returned to their parents today, because they're still continuing safety issues. As of now, we're set for final trial on June 9th at 1 o'clock. And that's why I make that statement about the drug use, because that's not very long away. And so you're running out of time to accomplish these things. So I can't stress enough that the urgency of getting into these programs and being able to, because with drug use, as you all know, it's a long-term issue, and you've got to have some time in order to indicate that this is something that you've got under control. Is this a case that would be appropriate to order to mediation? Do y'all think, or?
Your Honor, absolutely. I think, though, that I don't know if we have a permanency hearing before the final. I guess we don't.
Let's see. Let me look again here.
Because I do think that maybe we need to get a little closer to the final and see what progress gets made on the outpatient treatment issue.
Right. It looks like the dismissal date is in June also, and then the trial date is in June. So perhaps it's something that you could request a special setting with Judge Baker, or an additional meeting, a more informal meeting or something, to look at the progress on that drug treatment.
Yes, I'll send a follow-up with Judge Baker and the parties about getting mediation set up prior to June.
Okay. All right. Anything from anybody else then? Well, I really encourage the parents. I'm glad that you're here today and that you're hearing what the concerns are in this case and also what your accomplishments are. So I don't take those lightly, and I think you should continue to work on that. I think it's fortunate that the children are with family members and they seem to be being well cared for. So that's also a positive. So at this time, if nothing further, then all parties are excused, and I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Afternoon.
Hello.
How is everyone this afternoon?
Hello.
Mr. Shaw, are you expecting your client?
Judge, I spoke to them about 30 minutes ago and sent them the link. I can try to call. Oh, here they are. Here they are, I think.
He present with mom?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I see him now in the background. Okay. We're here today on a review hearing. We were scheduled for a final in this matter. There was some email communication between the parties and the court last week regarding an extension in the case. And so I had indicated that I would agree to the extension if the mother would enter into inpatient rehab and successfully complete that. So anyway, we're conducting this hearing through Zoom. We are live streaming, and Ms. Peretta is taking our record today. So we'll go ahead and take announcements, and then we'll talk about that.
Pamela Ferguson, Regional Attorney representing the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. I'm present and ready with Permanency Specialist Monica Higgins and Supervisor Samantha Lopez, both from St. Francis Ministries.
Savannah Kincaid, I represent Miss Motto. We're both present and ready.
Jim Shaw representing the father.
Belinda Ebling, attorney ad litem for the children.
All right, thank y'all. Okay, Ms. Ferguson, where do we stand, if you know?
Your Honor, I believe that we do need to find a rehab for Ms. Mata to go to. I'm not sure that she's had conversations with Ms. Higgins in order to find what's in network, but that does need to happen.
All right, Ms. Kincaid, has your client agreed to that?
As of this morning, I believe that, yes, we talked about it some last week and then this morning as well.
You all understand, I mean, that was the basis for my willingness to entertain the extension. Otherwise, you know, I was struggling. I understand everybody else agreed to it, but I was really struggling to find what extraordinary circumstances there were in the case for me to grant the extension. And even, you know, her agreement to go now is a little far reaching. But so we need to talk how that's going to happen and when that's going to happen. I kind of thought maybe it would have already happened.
Your Honor, I think that it might be helpful if it's in a court order. And so we can be sure that the department is able to pay for that. She does have transportation already arranged.
To a rehab?
Yes, Your Honor.
We just don't know what rehab.
That's correct.
Okay.
I know that for some cases they go to Serenity, some go to Synacor, you know, so whatever is going to be, you know, closest for her or whatever the department would like to do.
All right, Ms. Higgins, any light to shed on this?
I was waiting for a court order. Sorry if that wasn't correct. I did communicate a little bit this afternoon with Ms. Kincaid's office. I have reached out to Ms. Mata. I haven't heard back from her. The kiddos, I think that maybe Serenity would be good because it's in Plainview, kind of close to the kids. And I mean, I'm happy to facilitate in any way that I can. I just was waiting for a little bit direction from you because
All right, well, I guess, I'm sorry, I thought it was real clear last week that was gonna be the basis for granting
Yes,
an
ma'am.
extension today, so,
And Your Honor, I did volunteer to do the order for the court-ordered rehab. I just feel like the order is better if it's specific. So I was waiting to hear what rehab. But I don't know who's available or who has beds.
has anybody checked on that? Has anybody made a phone call to any of these that we have contracts with?
I have not, no, ma'am.
Miss Mata, I saw that you were raising your hand. She's indicating Dove at Ranch Tree. I don't know if that's something that is in network though.
It is not.
I'm paying out of pocket. I mean, I'm using my insurance.
Okay, is it Dove Tree you're talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your insurance will cover that?
You better check.
Yes, ma'am. I've already looked into it.
Do they have a spot for you?
Yes. For me and Jim, they can.
I'm sorry, say that again.
They have a spot they already have a spot. I mean, I wasn't sure when, like, if I needed to wait for court or I just didn't know when. I went to begin.
Okay, but you're telling me they've got a bed for you.
Yes, ma'am. I've checked if they have space and stuff. Only thing I need to do is register.
Okay, you understand that when it's not a rehab that is contracted with the department, you're gonna have to sign releases of information so that the department, in St. Francis are able to know how you're doing and whether you're actively working the program, talk to the
Yes,
people
ma'am. I
there.
understand that.
All right. So, Ms. Ferguson, then, I would approve her to go to Dove Tree if her insurance will pay for it. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
But we need that order to contain that she would sign all necessary releases of information.
Yes.
So that we can monitor and track her progress. How long a program is this, Ms. Mata? Is it just a standard 30-day thing?
Yes, ma'am. 30 days.
And then did you talk with them about any kind of follow-up after care programs?
I have not yet.
Okay. Well, that's going to be part of my order today, which is that, you're ordered to inpatient treatment and to successfully complete that and to follow any recommendations for follow-up aftercare type treatment. That could be outpatient, that could be, that could be NA, it could be, different things, but most of these 30-day treatment programs are going to say, just because you finish that 30 days, you have not crossed the finish line. And that you need some kind of longer term commitment. So you understand that's going to be part of what I'm going to order today.
Yes, ma'am. I understand. I'm willing to cooperate with everything that's offered to me and stuff.
All right. Anybody else have any questions about that as far as the extension goes?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Ferguson, does that give you enough to draft your order?
Yes, Your Honor. I just am not. Is it Dove Tree? It's the ranch at Dove Tree. Is that the name of it?
I think it's Dove Tree Ranch, but
Okay.
I
Okay.
can look it up real quick.
I'll look it up, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I didn't know if Miss Mata knew.
Yeah, the ranch at Dove Tree.
Okay.
Technically, its name.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then we'll go ahead and conduct a review hearing today. And just see how we're doing on everything else. So, Ms. Higgins, I think you're the one that can do that for us.
Yes, ma'am. Both boys are together now. They're at Ophelia McCown's house. They are doing well. Trip or Cullen, he is going to daycare. Miss McCown is having a little bit of trouble trying to find daycare for Jesse for the summer. But she told me last time I was there that she was working on it. And then when she can't be with Jesse, then she has sisters that have agreed to a background check that are willing to help and pitch in and participate. And they seem to be doing well together. Every time I go, they seem really happy. They seem to be making huge steps as far as communication, and Jesse's really learning not to throw such big fits and kind of control himself and those sorts of things.
Okay.
And Trip is learning a lot of sign language and learning how to communicate.
All right, great. All right, how do visits go?
I don't supervise those visits. I have not heard anything negative.
Okay.
But if Miss Mata goes to rehab, then St. Francis will probably start supervising those.
Yeah, Ms. Mata, you know, that'll depend on what their program says you can and can't do. You know, I think you can anticipate you may miss a visit or two initially, but we'll see what they say. But we'll try to work with you the best we can so that at least you can maybe try to have some virtual time with the children. You know, we'll just have to see what's allowed. So, all right. Okay. Anything else to report?
No, they just seem to be doing really well. They're very friendly, very outgoing. Every time I walk in, they want to hug, they want to fist bump, they want to show me all their toys. They seem to be thriving where they are.
Okay. What about father's progress?
I have not communicated with the father. There was a month that I did not have proper phone numbers, and I was told last time I was in the house that the father was not in the picture anymore. And so that's what I was working and going forward with, that he had moved out.
All right. But he's here on screen with mom.
Yes, ma'am.
So you've not had any contact with him since our last hearing?
No, ma'am.
Have you requested that he go drug test or do anything like that since our
I
last
have a drug test for him to go this month. I just haven't sent anybody yet.
Okay. All right. Anything else to report?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right then.
Your Honor, can I just jump in? I would ask Ms. Higgins, do you want the court to order that drug test right now while we're all here?
That's going to happen. That'll be part of the
thank you.
That will be part of today's ruling. So, all right. Anything else, Ms. Ferguson?
Your Honor, the only other thing that I would point out when we got to the talks, when we talked about agreeing to the extension, one of the things that the department, you know, weighed in our decision to agree was that we haven't had mediation. So I would ask that maybe in the alternative, we also get ordered to mediation, just in case Ms. Mata doesn't complete rehab, then we will be in a position to move forward in August, having had mediation. And we can always cancel it if she does successfully attend.
All right. I'm happy to do that.
Judge, just for the record, I've not had any problems getting a hold of my client, and he indicates that he is still participating in the Grace Manor. So I don't know what the disconnect is.
Well, I don't know. Mr. Hicks, what's the disconnect?
The last time we seen Lisa was in March, and we didn't find out we had a new caseworker till sometime in April, and in May, yeah, maybe May, we found out we had a new caseworker. We had no knowledge of any of that stuff, so we just been working and doing our thing here. I don't know what I mean. It's kind of St. Francis's deal.
Well, have you gotten messages or text messages or emails from Ms. Higgins?
Not a word. Not a word.
So the phone number that I have now, I received from placement, and she specifically told me that it was completely different than the one that Lisa gave me.
Well, Lisa had my phone number.
All right, well, we're live streaming, so let me just ask Mr. Shaw, would you put, you have obviously have a good phone number for him. Would you put that in the chat to Ms. Higgins to make sure she's got a good number?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. So Ms. Higgins, do you think what is a current view of what services Mr. Hicks has completed and what he still lacks?
I do not. So when I arrived at the house last month, Macy was there. We spoke. She showed me some of her certificates. She told me that she was ready to do whatever she needed to get the kids back. And she told me that Mr. Hicks was not in the picture and that he was gone and that he wasn't coming back because she understood that to be part of the family plan of service and some of the court orders for him to maybe not be around. That was my understanding of the situation.
So basically, you've never met with him?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Not since the case was given to me April 1st. And I would love to rectify that. It just hasn't happened.
So, Mr. Hicks, are you still living there or where are you living?
I answered the question.
I didn't hear an answer.
Oh, I said, yes, ma'am. I said, yes, ma'am. I still live here. I stay gone quite a bit. I work out of town quite a bit, but I still stay here.
I never said he moved out. I said we were having trouble and he wasn't here, but.
Okay. Well, we've obviously had a communication breakdown, which we need to rectify like yesterday.
Yes, ma'am.
So Mr. Hicks, Ms. Mata, meet Ms. Higgins. Ms. Higgins, meet Mr. Hicks and Ms. Mata. So we know where Ms. Mata is going to be pretty soon. Mr. Hicks, you need to cooperate and meet with her as soon as possible, so that the two of you can begin to talk about your progress. Mr. Shaw, do you have a handle on what services he's worked?
I'll have to look at the last court date, but when I was just speaking to him, he just said that they were still involved with the Grace Manor services, and that it was difficult because they were in Lubbock and they were having to travel back and forth to from Floyd-Ada. But Mr. Hicks, is there anything else that they were asking you to do other than the Grace Manor?
No, ma'am. No, sir. No, I mean, I've done my, what all of it? I mean,
You've done everything.
we've done all our parenting and we attend,
Never alone in Austin. It's a virtual NA class.
virtual NA classes, the parenting classes, I can't think of all of them.
You've done everything.
Yeah.
We jumped into Grace Manor just so it would, just to get a little boost, a little help. I mean,
okay, y'all are really hard to hear, and I suspect the court reporter is struggling because I'm struggling.
Yes, ma'am. No,
I think I've done everything they've asked of me.
And Your Honor, I can go over some of his services and where we still have concerns.
That would be great.
I think our biggest concern is most of his drug tests. He didn't take one in March, April, and we haven't done one in May. His last hair that was taken in February, it was positive for methamphetamines. So we would like to get those concerns addressed. I know Ms. Mata is willing to go to inpatient therapy, but I strongly believe that's something we also need to look into from Mr. Hicks.
Yeah, well, time permits. If it's a problem. So I'm gonna send both of you to go drug test just so we've got a current drug screen. So I want you to both go drug test before noon tomorrow. That's gonna be hair and UA. And you know, Mr. Hicks, if those come back positive, you know, you would be well advised to, you know, do the same thing, get involved in inpatient and at a minimum intensive outpatient. Because y'all are gonna have the maximum amount of time I can give you is 6 months. And right now I'm not even giving you that much time because I want to see how things are going. So right now you're set for a final August 11th. So that's rolling around in a hurry. And if you all still have positive drug screens, we obviously still have a really big problem at this stage of the case. So it was the failure to drug test, the failure of, you know, being in compliance at this stage in the case. You know, suspected tampering with UA drug screens. You know, I just, you know, this is why I was really opposed to extending the case. Because I just I'm not saying that y'all have really taken this very seriously. But just to be clear, so there's no misunderstandings over the course of the next several months, maximum of 6. This is about you losing your children forever. So if you don't take that seriously, I'm not sure what you will take seriously. But that's where we're at. So do either of you have any doubt about that or any question about that?
No, ma'am.
And your children have some special needs. And you know, their situations are going to be difficult to handle. You know, their situations are going to be difficult to handle for the soberest of parents. And you know, if you all are actively still using, I'll tell you straight up right now, these folks are going to be asking me to terminate your rights, and guess what? I'll do it because I can't send special needs children, especially I can't send any children back into a home where there's active drug use. But you know, particularly kids that need the extra attention and the extra help that your kids are going to need. So it's like decision making time. So, you know, if you've got a problem, go address it. But I am going to order you both to go by noon tomorrow to do your hair and UA. And, you know, and if Ms. Mata, if that's on your way to rehab, so much the better.
There's also a concern with the individual counseling, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's not much attendance. There's no shows. And as of February, I don't see that they've gone. I'm sorry, Mr. Hicks. I'd have to check on Ms. Mata, but There are concerns for those. We don't have council recommendations for unsupervised reunification, any of those things. So that's also a huge concern.
You're right, it is.
I stopped by there one day. I'm sorry.
Sorry, what?
I stopped by there one day on my way home from Grace Manor, and I left them a note, and I wouldn't know whether they had gotten a hold of him, and they didn't like tell me anything about it. So I did miss my last one. I mean, I did miss, and I just haven't rescheduled.
Well, you got bigger problems and bigger issues to deal with right now, quite frankly, and I'm not convinced that you both don't. But
yes, ma'am.
You know, you guys just got to take a long, hard look in the mirror and fess up to what your problems are and how dangerous that those problems can be for children. And you know, you got to make some decisions. I don't know what else to tell you. You just got to make some really tough choices. And I'm going to give you a little bit of time to try to turn the ship around here. But we're going to check back in August, on August 11th. We may be calling the finals that day. I may not agree to vacate that and give you more time. So you really don't have a whole lot of time to demonstrate to me that you are committed to this and willing to do what you've got to do to make things right for your children. All right, Ms. Kincaid, anything to offer today?
No, Your Honor, we appreciate the opportunity for Ms. Mata to be able to go inpatient and follow any recommendations after that treatment.
All right. And Ms. Kincaid, it's a great choice of words, the opportunity. Thank you. All right, Mr. Shaw.
Judge, I guess we are where we are. These tests will kind of give us a direction in which to go. The number that I put up on the chat is wrong, so I'm going to have to get another number.
Okay, I don't know if parents know how to use that chat feature. If not, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to conclude the hearing, and then I'll stop the live stream, and I'm going to make sure that you've given phone numbers so that everybody that needs them will have them.
Ms. Mata knows how to use the chat feature. There we go.
Okay. All right, there it is. Okay, Ms. Evelyn.
Sorry, my space bar wouldn't release the audio. I have no concerns about the kids. I think they're doing great where they are. I did have one question. I thought Miss Mata made reference to both of them having a bed at Dovetree, and if I misunderstood that, I thought I would just ask to clarify that.
Yes, ma'am. They're not co-ed, but they have a few available spots for the both of us. I've looked into it. I just hadn't initiated the whole registration.
Mr. Hicks, is that what you're going to do?
I'm leaning that way, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hang on, Mr. Shaw fell out. Let me bring him back in. Okay. So Mr. Shaw, he's telling us that he's leaning towards going into inpatient as well, and that they would have a bed for him. So Mr. Hicks, I think you ought to lean hard. Okay, Ms. Evelyn.
Do you have anything else, Your Honor?
Okay. All right, then. As I stated, I'm going to order both parents to drug test by noon tomorrow. That'll be hair and UA. Today I'm ordering mom to inpatient rehab to sign necessary releases in order to do any follow-up recommendations as made by the treatment program. Mr. Hicks, if you decide to do that, I'm going to do the same. You're going to be ordered to sign releases in order to do any follow-up recommendations that Dovetree makes I'm going to order mediation in the case. That will need to occur no later than August 1st. And Miss Katie will assign an attorney mediator to that. I'm going to find that there will be a continuing danger to return the children home today. And I'm not hearing really that parents are in compliance with their service plan. I mean, we're 12 months into the case. I just don't see how we can describe that as being in compliance. So, you know, I'm going to find that neither are in compliance at this time. We'll continue to use reasonable efforts to reunify the family. As stated earlier, I'll grant the extension in the case and we will set a new dismissal date. Miss Ferguson, do y'all have that date?
Yes, Your Honor. Let me look it up. I'm so sorry.
No, it's no problem.
The new dismissal date is December 13th from the order.
Thank you, Delinda. I was looking up the order.
All right, but again, I want to be very clear with parents. Just because the dismissal date is December 13th, that doesn't mean you've got until then. Right now, we're set August 11th. That's the time that you have right now. Okay, anybody have any questions? Okay, then hopefully everybody's got everybody's good phone number. Be looking for Ms. Higgins to make contact and I hope you'll both do the rehab. I really do. So I think it's the only shot at you guys keeping your family together. So, you know, you can do all the counseling in the world, but if you can't conquer the drug problem, the rest of it really doesn't much matter. All right, then I'll see everybody back August 11th, 2025. That'll be on 1 o'clock docket. So best of luck to all of you. Yes, ma'am.
I take care of my mom who's got dementia full time. So can I get her into something like maybe a week or so I can try to find her somewhere to stay?
You talking about
2-3 days
delaying going to rehab?
No, I'm saying like maybe Wednesday or something so I can get her with my brothers or see if I can get her with somebody.
Yeah. I mean, I will give you a few days to try to get that handled.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Then I'll see everybody back August 11th. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Give me just a minute. I'm having a YouTube problem. It's streaming, but it's not allowing me to enable the chats. So give me just a couple minutes, please.
And Your Honor, just so you know, I do have a motion regarding that.
All right, I'll try it one more time.
Ms. Ferguson, was that a motion that you filed or is it an oral motion?
It's a motion to go off YouTube. That's what I was gonna.
Okay.
All right, I think finally that was successful. All right, do we have everybody that we are expecting? We're still looking for anybody.
I think everybody's here, Your Honor. I would ask for a quick breakout room with the attorneys, if it's possible.
Your Honor, Ms. Ferguson is back. If it's okay if I talk to her just very briefly.
Okay, I'm sorry, Miss Kincaid. You want to talk to Pamela?
Yeah, just briefly.
Okay.
Hey, Rachel, can I get in on that?
Yes, I will. Pamela, you can go back into room 1, and
Okay,
Savannah,
perfect.
I'll move you guys back in there.
Thank you.
Mhm.
We're here today for our final in this matter. We are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We are live streaming, and Ms. Parada is taking our record for us today. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Pamela Ferguson, attorney representing the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services, and I'm also appearing today with Amber Rich, who's the regional attorney as well for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. We are present and ready with permanency specialist Destiny Swartz, permanency specialist Lisa Hooper, and supervisor Samantha Lopez, all from St. Francis Ministries. And I do have a quick motion to go off YouTube to be taken up after announcements. And also an announcement after that.
Okay. Savannah Kincaid, I represent Miss Motto. We're both present and ready.
Jim Shaw representing the father, present, ready, Your Honor.
Melinda Ebling for the children, present and ready.
All right, thank you all very much. Appreciate it. All right then, Ms. Ferguson, with respect to any pretrial motion.
Yes, Your Honor, at this time, because I do anticipate that we may be talking and entering evidence that might be sensitive, I would ask for the protection of both minors that we go off of YouTube.
All right, counsel, anybody having an objection?
No objection.
No objection.
No objection.
All right, very good then. Motion's been made and no one has objected to closing the courtroom in this matter. Court's obviously familiar with the underlying facts and issues in the case. And in order to protect the children's privacy, confidentiality, the court would find it is in their best interest to go ahead and close the courtroom. So I am going to stop the live stream feed at this time. Obviously, we will continue to have our official record made